Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video we have a new archetype, so it's Hecahands. These cards are very interesting because they are illusion monsters and they are very strong, especially these two, Ibel and Yadel. Ibel is a E-tally where you can just reveal this card, shuffle it into the deck to special summon a Hecahand monster from your deck, and Yadel is a spell and trap searcher. They got a very good spell very recently. It's just called Hecahands. It's a rota, and you'll also, if you send a face-up card from your field, you can set a Hecahands spell or trap to your field except this spell card, and you'll see in the duels that these cards are insane, especially with Chimeras. In this duel you'll see how good Hecahands are. So we use the Ibel, reveal it, shuffle it into the deck, summon Gigas. Gigas is just as a one-off because, I mean, it is a brick, you don't really have to run it, but I like it when I'm going first. I can reveal top 3 cards of my opponent's deck and special summon one excavated monster. So it's a great card going first because you can find out, you can see what your opponent is playing, and it also is a good hand trap bait target. But besides that, Hecahands are illusion monsters, so you can search them with Nightmare Apprentice, which is very useful because before you only had Kotal and Mirror Sword Knight as good illusion monsters. Now you have six more good illusion monsters, which is very helpful and makes Nightmare Apprentice so much better now and much more flexible. And you can see that even through Imperm you can just keep going through your combo, make Chimera fusions, go for Fiendsmiths, get to Archfiend, Archfiend will get you to Necromancers, and yeah, this is very easy. Yep, Archfiend grab break and you have double barrier, break and Chimera fusion, and also Lacrima to summon the sequence for Echo Talker. Echo Talker negates the Yami because I don't want them to have a level 1 on the board. Use break to destroy Yami Lollipop. Okay, use barrier on Ultimate Obedience code, and use Chimera, summon Baphomet to add Gazelle and Chimera fusion. Go for Zelantis, go for Baphomet again, use Ibel. So as you saw, Ibel has 2 effects. It's a E-tally and a Monster Reborn, and Yadel is a spell and trap searcher and spell and trap reset from your graveyard to your field. So both of them have 2 very strong effects. And as you saw, I used Hecahands to send a face-up card from my field. It was Nightmare Apprentice, add Ibel and set Ipt all Hecahands, so you don't really have to run this. You can just, run Infernity Barrier instead. It's a better card. It hits spell and traps and monster effects, while this card just hits monster effects, which is unfortunate because if Hecahands had a Infernity Barrier all in one card, they would be a very strong archetype, but it's okay, they're still strong, I feel, and I don't know if they'll be meta broken, but they'll be playable for sure. Yep, Archfiend, Duke of Demise of course, and this Hecahands Jaws Up is a great card because it only requires a Hecahand monster and 1 illusion monster, but you can also use a face-up monster you summoned from Giza. Was it Giza? Yep. And Hecahands Joza is a can search any Hecahands card, so we can add another spell or Ibel or Yadel, which is very impressive. And you can see here that we used Chimera to summon Joza and Lacrima to summon Sequence, so you have like 10 interruptions here, but I use my interruptions very bad here because I should have negated the monster effect with Ipt with the trap, with the Hecahands traps, and not used barriers and the Echo Talker. But in this case I can still have too many negates. I have Mirror Sword Knight, Zelantis, Echo Talker, Espil Knight, still have the Hecahands trap, and still have follow-up with Chimeras and Garrus, adding Archfiend, using Hecahands now, which is not a bad use, but I could have used it at a better time. But my opponent surrendered because I have Archfiend for follow-up, I have Stygian in my graveyard, and many more follow-up cards. In this duel we drew very bad. We drew Eris and Baphomet, which is very atrocious, but we can still play through because Aeroliter is that broken. Send Eris, add Archfiend, send Stygian, summon Archfiend, grab Necromancer, and Duke of Demise, giving us another normal summon for Necromancer, using Archfiend again. And as you can see, we didn't really draw any Chimera cards or Hecahands cards, but we can still play our combo because you just need a way to Archfiend and a way to special summon Archfiend, and you'll start comboing off, because Fiendsmiths allow you to get to another normal summon or get you to Stygian, which is very useful. And this is our end board. This is just basic Infernity board. Lacrima for Sequence, so we have Echo Talker, Zelantis, Espil Knight, Barrier Break. Okay, they're using Kagari. I'm just gonna banish Kagari with Espil Knight so they don't have another body, another link 1 on the board. But we use Echo Talker. They try to use evenly, but it gets met with Barrier. They use drones again. I use Barrier Break on Cookie, but they have another Yami, which is very bad. So they played through every interruption I had. So they go to Snatchy, go to Lollipo, destroy the Zelantis, summon 2 more Yamis, use Anima, suck my Archfiend, use a Spell Knight, banish Necromancer, which is a misplay because they forgot that I have the Reaper. Now I top deck the Gazelle, use Echo Talker to negate Espil Knight, but Espil Knight banishes my Echo Talker. Now they use Snatchy to Synchro and reset another field spell, summon 2 more Yamis, use Duke of Demise, add Baphomet so we can have materials for Chimera Fusion. Use Gazelle and Baphomet for Baphomet Fusion, yeah. They use Snatchy again. I mean, how is Snatchy not once per turn? That's beyond me, but okay. Okay, we have Ibel negated by Herald. Ibel was a very good bait for Herald because it would have summoned the Giza, which would have summoned the Yami, and then we could summon the Joza. And as you see, we use Baphomet to summon the Duke of Demise, so we can use Duke of Demise effect again, which is very useful, but they banished our Duke, unfortunate. Okay, they summoned the third Yami, I think, and they have nothing left. Yep, they have just Espel Knight. Okay, pay 500 for Duke of Demise, use Sequence, they use Espel Knight in chain, we summon another Baphomet, send Yadel, use all 5 monsters for Underworld Goddess, summon Necromancer, bring back Archfiend, use Archfiend, add another Archfiend, go for Requiem, summon Lacrima, again send Engraver, use Chimera Fusion to add it back, go for Moon, use Engraver, use Duke of Demise once again. This was like the third time we used Duke of Demise, I think. Yep, or third, second. Yep, we use Baphomet again, summon Duke to have it on the field again, because having 2 normal summons per turn is very useful. Okay, we use Lacrima again for Sequence. Okay, we drew Poly. Now we go for Underworld Goddess again, Engraver, use Duke of Demise for another normal summon, and this is game. Okay, in this duel we drew Yadel, which is great, but we use Hecahands, get Mat withdrawal, but Ibel doesn't really care because it doesn't add its special summon Gigas, and we can use Gigas, summon the Regulator, go for Jawza, and Jawza also doesn't care about draw because Jawza can add a Hecahands from your graveyard as well. They use evenly, and they had another Regulator, but we can use Sword Knight to negate the effect. Now we use Ibel again, summon Yadel from the deck, and our opponents surrender. Because we have another Yadel, we have Hecahands, we have a Baphomet on the field, so we have a lot of plays. We can go for Fiendsmith, summon Sandaris at Archfiend, and go from there. Okay, in this duel we finally drew Patchwork, so adds a Poly and Gym Chain. I still play this package as a 3 Patchwork, 3 Gym Chain and 3 Poly, because you need more ways to get to polymerization. You cannot just rely on getting to Chimera Fusion by Gazelle or hard drawing it. You need as many polymerizations as possible, and Gigas is very good. Now we know that we are playing against White Forest Ibels, judging by the cards we revealed, and with that our opponent surrendered, and this is the deck again. So it is 48 cards, but you have so many great cards and so many starters and extenders that you cannot really cut them. I mean, you can cut maybe like 1 Gym Chain and 1 polymerization, but then your Patchwork will get worse, so I'm just running them at max 3 copies. You can maybe play 1 Hecahands, but I really like this card because this is basically 3 more copies of Ibel, and Ibel is a E-tally. E-tally for a illusion monsters. So if we drew Fiends, we can use Poly, use our Fiend monsters with illusion monsters to go for Baphomet. You only need 1 Mirror Sword Knight because it's a normal summon, it's very bad to Ash Blossom, and that's why I'm just running 1 of it. So you can have it for going first. You don't really have to run Winged and Baphomet, but I like it because it can bring back one of the Ibel or Yadel, or you know, the Sword Knight and Illusion monster, which is great. Nightmare Apprentice is so much better because now you have triple Kotal, you have Sword Knight, and now you have 3 Ibel 3 Yadel, which is great, so we have 10 good illusion monsters. Hecahands really make Infernity Chimera a much stronger deck and much more flexible. That's it for the video. See you soon and goodbye.